Overview. We've been fed lies in the modern world. Regarding the meaning of man society, indicates that the definition of success is riches based on how many women we can impress with authority and status. But I would like to know how many actually even successful men have internal problems, uncertain and perplexed regarding their reason why there are still so many strong men. Most men disintegrate when life throws them a curveball, chase ephemeral things and disregard the basis of what is truly important. But if you are unaware, here is the terrible reality: who you are in the absence of control above oneself, and if you're continuously seeking approval from others, will stop being a high-value man. Squandering time on pointless pursuits. We will unveil the 12 crucial characteristics of a high-value man according to ancient ideas of Stoic wisdom that helped create some of the most notable esteemed individuals. These qualities will transform your life if you put them into practice. Being a high-value man doesn't mean showing off, either racking up or in front of the mirror Instagram followers. It's about establishing a solid internal foundation that nothing frightens you. Women. You guys are more than just an inspiration. Most importantly, you are respected. Self-stoicism is an old way of thinking, instructs us on how to lead a life of discipline, fortitude and purpose, attributes that any man of high value should. Having these 12 qualities will benefit you. Rule in relationships and life. Let's jump straight into the top of self-confidence. Humility combined with self-assurance. Most males are either humble or uneasy, or they overcompensate by dressing flamboyantly. Clothing flaunt their accomplishments, or attempt should appear confident in order to win ladies over. However, this is what women can see, right? Real confidence doesn't come from that require a performance. You enter a room. When others sense your presence, even though you must discuss yourself because your though words are not as powerful as actions. Without humility, confidence is a catastrophe in the making. A self-assured man is aware of his value, but it's not necessary to offend someone. He hears, learns, and comprehends that progress is a constant in life when you don't feel threatened since you're humble, by the accomplishments of others since you. One of the largest is to know your own root. Men's dating errors in the modern era. The world is inflating its accomplishments that you may view on social media every day, with men showing off their automobiles, displaying lavish vacations, or reminding people all the time how they are successful, yet in their hearts, the more attempts are made to prove something. The less they cure, the more valuable they are. Men don't require that approval when your success speaks for you if you walk with humility. For itself, give up attempting to demonstrate be valuable to others and boost your self-esteem by developing your abilities to become an expert at something and being aware of your advantages inside and out, but keep your ego in check. Obstruct someone who is superior to. Instead, you should learn from them, of becoming envious as well as practice talking less on your personal accomplishments and allowing others to see your worth on the less you attempt to understand their own terms. Impress the more lovely and sincere. You'll rise to the position of number 2 leader. Egoless leadership without. In today's world, everyone aspires to lead, but the majority of people don't even understand the true meaning of leadership. They believe it has to do with supremacy of power or speaking loudest in the room, but egoless leadership is the actual thing. A man of high value sets an example, not by dominating other people in partnerships, this is essential, but a high-value man must exert control over his spouse in order to feel strong. He is aware that true leadership entails supplying emotional stability, powerful and wisely leading. He avoids competing with his partner, enhances her, making this characteristic even more crucial when life takes unexpected turns, balls, if your life or relationship is, when faced with challenges. A leader doesn't fear or seek out someone to place the blame on. Rather, he assumes responsibility for the problem. Making cool, collected decisions, he doesn't let ego or pride stand in the way of improving conditions at work or in "you are the man" who takes in your relationships. Accountability when things get tough, but keep your ego out of the way. A true leader's listening style changes and encourages those around him and demonstrates your strength via your deeds, not by dominating others and keeping in mind that you are in charge. Being egoless involves being able to acknowledge when you're mistaken. Your readiness to learning and development are what define a true leader is more than just a giver. Characteristic 3 of the orders. The strength of self-control. Discipline is what sets people apart. We live in a time when the boys from the males where everything happens instantly, satisfaction, immediate joy, and immediate outcomes. But if you'd like to be a high-value man, you must become proficient in discipline, which entails adhering to your objectives even when you're not feeling like it. Demonstrating daily presence and making the workplace discipline encompasses more than just attending the gym or adhering to a routine. It involves maintaining consistency think about it in every area of your life. Someone can inspire others for a week or two, but self-control keeps you proceeding when inspiration wanes. It's what separates being good from at something, being genuinely exceptional, and remember that women are able to detect when a discipline is lacking in a man who is all over the place, continuously altering his thoughts or not adhering to his commitments is not a reliable source. Establish clear limits for yourself, whether it's your profession in fitness or relationships. Keep your word. Each time you avoid temptation, you create a modest wake to strengthen your mind. 30 minutes earlier, complete a task you have been evading or skipping. The more disciplined you are on social networking the more authority you will possess over. Make sure you're clinging onto your life. Hold yourself responsible from the bottom of your objectives and go over them every day to stay on. The 4th tune is emotional. Developing emotional regulation. Emotional control is where the majority of it's common to witness men fail. Men who become agitated at the slightest items flying off the handle over nonsense and forget it in relationships. After just one dispute, they're losing their thoughts, yelling, slamming doors, or strolling. It is not respected by our women. Value man maintains his composure. Stoicism instructs us to maintain our composure. No, regardless of the circumstance, emotional control does not imply that you repress your emotions. It indicates that when life gets tough, you'll learn to. However, a high-value man is able to pause, consider, and reply with a justification for not respond in a furious manner. Or men who are frustrated are informed that they become weak when they display emotion, although emotional control isn't the aim. Isn't about robotics. Rather, it's about recognizing your feelings and applying them to inform your choices, rather than allowing them to rule you. When you become an expert, your feelings make you untouchable. Whether you're handling a difficult circumstance at work or a dispute in your relationship, others will take notice of your keep your cool and have faith in your judgment. Engage in daily emotional regulation exercises. When you notice that you're becoming furious or distressed, take a step back and count to 10. Take a deep breath and evaluate the circumstances. In relationships, logically learn to talk slowly, as this will not only make you more appealing while simultaneously respected by everyone in your immediate vicinity, as well begin recording your thoughts in a journal and emotions every day by monitoring what sets them off. You'll become more in charge of your. The 5th response is intellectual. Intellectual inquisitiveness. and ongoing education. Most guys lose interest in learning after leaving school. They become entangled in the similar patterns in their methods and ponder the reason of their life's impasse. Conversely, a high-value man is constantly gaining knowledge. He is intrigued since he is aware that growth is the secret to success in the current world. Your hidden weapon is curiosity. What makes you different from other men? Who is satisfied with being mediocre? Being intellectually curious makes you fascinating not only to ladies but also it increases your ability to adapt, everyone. More successful and tolerant, but it goes beyond simply reading books or consuming knowledge. Intellectual curiosity entails asking questions about the world around you, contesting your own convictions, and being accessible to new views of high-value men are never-ending, expanding as a result of their constant learning. If you are interested, you will discover possibilities where others perceive nothing. Make a commitment to learning something new. Each peruse books, tune in to podcasts, or start a new pastime. However, here's the "don't only learn to impress" kicker. The more you learn for yourself, the more others will learn. The more knowledge you have, the more assured and competent you'll grow into in life, and relationships are difficult. Your current convictions or possess a dialogue with a dissident intellectual curiosity is what you have, helps you stay focused and at the top of your game, living an honorable and honest life. Number 6. Integrity and honesty. Integrity is the backbone of a supremely valuable man. Without it, sincerity is scarce in today's world. People deceive, cheat, and use manipulation to forward. But here's the thing. Regardless of how far do you believe lying will get you, women, it always comes back to haunt you. Honor a man who is truthful even when the truth has an uncomfortable high value. Men don't sugarcoat unpleasant things. Engage in games and adhere to a set of values, and integrity are the foundation of it. And believe me, this will make you stand out. The majority of guys, 99%, are honest. By default, be truthful with yourself first, then be truthful with other people. Integrity is something you develop when you live it. Unwavering faith and respect from others, even if they don't agree with you. You live with someone who is number 7. The value of purposeful living. Purpose. Most guys drift through life without a purpose. They live for the weekend. They live for comfort, and they live without direction. Yet, here's the harsh truth. A man without purpose is a dude who's wasting his life. Ladies can perceive this. They don't desire a man who's simply coasting. They're looking for a man who is driven and has a purpose. It's what gives your life purpose, is what wakes you up in the morning, makes you focused, disciplined, and unstoppable. A man of high value is aware of his purpose, and all of his actions are in line with it. A man who lacks direction is adrift, and in unsatisfactory partnerships of direction becomes immediately apparent. Women are not interested in dating males who are merely making ends meet. They wish to be with someone who is striving for something greater. This is what you lack. To be fully aware of your life's grand, the goal is now, but you must be attempting to determine its purpose is more than simply your professional life. It's about your ideals, your beliefs, and what are you constructing for the future? Someone who only completes half of what they start. Do you wake up each day without a distinct direction? The high value isn't that man lives and is not readily influenced by distractions or trends, as he is aware what he's trying to do. Locate your purpose. You are unable to determine in a day, but begin by posing. Tell yourself what you're enthusiastic about. What values do you wish to uphold in your life? Once your vision is clear, construct your existence around it. Cease pursuing each and every divert attention and begin concentrating on what truly matters. Put your objectives in writing and examine them frequently to determine your goal. Ought to influence each choice you make, from the profession you select to the individuals you spend time with a purpose in mind. Encourages discipline, which in turn leads to success. Number 8, flexibility and receptiveness. Being open-minded, the world is evolving quicker than ever, and the majority of males are unable to. They're still acting in the same manner, hesitant to adapt and unwilling to adjust, but a man of high value is flexible. He's keen to learn and has an open mind. From fresh relationship experiences. Being flexible is essential because life doesn't always proceed as planned, but things can change. People change, and a man who is incapable of adjusting will break under the strain of being open-minded does not imply giving up. Your values, it indicates that you're adaptable, sufficient to develop a high-value man, isn't it? New perspective. Ives is a threat. Rather, he utilizes them to improve his own convictions and grow more powerful by considering the males in your life who are unwilling to change. Perhaps their career is at a standstill or a poisonous partnership, but rather than when they make adjustments or modifications, they double down on the same poor choices. Adaptability is not a sign of weakness. Strength. It's about understanding when. Determine whether to release and when to alter your path without losing your fundamental principles and flexibility in your everyday life. When things don't go as planned your way, don't become irritated and proceed in relationships and be willing to make concessions. But never at the price of being flexible with your values makes you stronger and more durable over time. When difficulties arise, run and ask, what can I learn from this, myself? Adaptability is what will keep you. Keep moving forward in life and avoid falling. When life unavoidably sets you behind the ninth curveball, accepting complete accountability for your life accountability, this is a difficult pill to swallow if you're not happy with your life. Want it to be your fault as quickly as possible. You accept accountability for everything. The earlier in life you'll become, most men that are high value make excuses. They point the finger at their partner, their job, situations. But a man of outstanding value takes responsibility for his life, says you are responsible for your decisions and actions. And your errors serve as the basis for maturity in interpersonal interactions. Women gain trust via responsibility. I admire a man who can acknowledge when he's incorrect and take action to correct it. But it transcends relationships. This is, are you consistent throughout your life? L. Griping about the unfairness of life. Are you the one who claims that this is on? What can I do to help myself? It's easier to blame your upbringing, or even society won't help you at all. Being responsible doesn't mean accepting it's about accepting responsibility for everything, having authority over what you can and possessing the outcomes of your behavior. It's the distinction between feeling helpless and feeling strong. Quit placing blame on other people. Accept complete responsibility for your life. Your decisions and errors. When you make a mistake, own it. And above all, take responsibility for it. Character building, and without it, you'll never turn into a high-value man again. When something in your life goes wrong, don't try to assign blame to others. Instead, consider what I could have carried out differently. Taking responsibility for your results gives you the ability to alter them. The real significance of generosity. Number 10. Generosity isn't about purchasing lavish presents or scattering cash around. A high-value man gives freely of his time, his focus and the energy he provides because he desires to, rather than because he expects something from him in exchange. Worth in each encounter, whether it's giving his counsel, being present, or his generosity in relationships and support, demonstrates your concern for the little things. The thoughtful gestures, the time you invest, and the way you make your partner feel valued, that make the difference. But here's the thing, never be generous to the point of being a doormat. Know your limits. Being a generous man doesn't mean sacrificing your own self-respect or allowing others to take advantage of you. A high-value man gives freely, but he also knows when to say no. Be generous with your time and attention in your relationships. Focus on giving value, whether it's through support, love, or effort. But don't overextend yourself. Give because you want to, not because you're trying to get something in return. Practice generosity in small ways each day. Help someone without expecting anything back. Give a compliment or spend quality time with someone who needs it. Generosity builds deep connections, but always remember to protect your boundaries. Number 11. Being self-reliant in relationships. Self-reliance. Most men are codependent without even realizing it. They rely on others for validation, support, and even their sense of self-worth. But a high-value man is self-reliant. He doesn't need anyone to make him feel complete. He's comfortable in his own skin. He knows that while relationships are important, they don't define him in relationships. Self-reliance is crucial. If you're constantly looking for your partner to fill your emotional void, you'll never have a healthy dynamic. A high-value man is emotionally independent, and that makes him more attractive and more stable. He doesn't need someone else to fix him because he's already working on himself. Being self-reliant doesn't mean you don't need anyone. It means you're not dependent on anyone for your sense of self-worth. It means you take care of your own needs and are emotionally secure enough to give to others without expecting them to complete you. Focus on becoming self-reliant. Build a life that you love even when you're alone. Stop looking for others to validate you or make you feel worthy. The more self-reliant you are, the more attractive and confident you'll become. Spend time on your own hobbies and passions. Cultivate a strong sense of self, and don't expect your partner to meet all of your emotional needs. The stronger and more independent you are, the better your relationships will be. Number 12. Patience and long-term focus. Patience is one of the hardest traits to master, but it's essential for a high-value man. We live in a world of instant gratification, but real success, whether it's in your career, relationships, or personal growth, takes time. A high-value man is willing to play the long game. Patience shows that you're in control in relationships. It means you're not rushing things or forcing outcomes. You're willing to let things develop naturally, knowing that what's meant for you will come in time. High value. Men don't give up when things don't go their way. Immediately they persist, knowing that lasting success requires perseverance and long-term thinking practice, patience in all areas of your life. Stop expecting instant results and start focusing on the long-term process. Whether it's in your career or your relationships, patience will help you achieve greater success and stability. When you find yourself getting frustrated by slow progress, remind yourself that the best things in life take time to commit to long-term goals, and stay the course even when things don't happen as quickly as you'd like. Becoming a high-value man. Conclusion. How to become a high-value man isn't easy. It requires discipline, patience, and a commitment to constant growth. But if you master these 12 traits, you'll not only transform yourself, you'll transform the way the world sees you. Women will respect you, men will admire you, and more importantly, you'll respect yourself. If this video has helped you, consider joining our channel membership or subscribing to support us by doing so. You help us continue creating excellent material that is available to as many men as possible. And don't forget, real value comes from within.